What's good, y'all? It's Drew here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Sabo because I feel like there's a lot going on with him. Don't forget to like, subscribe for more anime content if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification too because you know you used to be trying to play with us. But we're going to get right into it, obviously. First things first, question of the day. Question of the day is, what do you think happened to Sabo, and what do you think the next thing like that Oda will do with Sabo? I think that Vivi's dad died, and I think that they basically pin it on Sabo, and they're saying that Sabo is deceased right now, but he's not. Because, based on what we saw from the Dan and, the Dan's reaction and stuff like that, you can kind of infer that the newspaper said something really bad happened to Sabo, but I don't think that it was as crazy as they think. I was on Twitter, scouring Twitter as I tend to do sometimes. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already, obviously. And, I came across this thread about Sabo, and it was really interesting. It was basically a theory about how Sabo was going to come and save Luffy, because, ain't no one else in Wano can even do anything close to freaking Kaido. So it's gotta be someone like Sabo. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty good theory. But that really got me thinking, bro, one, I ain't talking about Sabo on my channel at all. That's bro, that's he the GOAT. And two, it's there's a lot that can be done with Sabo. In fact, every time I bring up, stuff outside of the Wano area, Sabo's one of the people I bring up. I would bring up Blackbeard, Vivi, Kobe, Boa, and Sabo. Because I already made a video about Kobe. Boa video's already been made. The Blackbeard video, I don't even want to touch Blackbeard for but most of y'all on the stream know why. But Sabo's someone that's really interesting because, one, we don't even know the bro's status. Are we going to talk about, is Sabo even alive? One of the reasons why I don't think that he's dead is because it just doesn't, even just narratively, it doesn't make sense for Sabo, who you brought back in Dressrosa, or brought back to the audience in Dressrosa, to just kill him off. You bring him back in Dressrosa, we don't see him in Zo, we don't see him in Whole Cake Island, and then in Reverie we see a little bit of him, and then he's dead. If you were gonna do that, you should just kill him. You know what I'm saying? They would just let him stay dead. So that stuff doesn't really make a lot of sense. However, I don't think Sabo just chilling, picking daisies right now. Sabo definitely was just gone through some stuff. We knew he fought two admirals at the same time, right? He fought Fujitora and Green Bull, and I mess with Sabo as much as the next guy. I think Sabo's stronger than Luffy right now. Yeah, but I don't think that Sabo can hang with two admirals. In fact, no, he cannot hang with two admirals. We saw what he did to Fuji. We saw what happened to Fujitora at the end of that fight. He was looking like a mummy for sure. But Sabo probably lost that battle. Now, a lot of stuff's going on with that, right? Because you have Kuma, who's someone that was involved, because that's the reason why Sabo, went into the battle, assumingly, right? And then you have the Revolutionary Army people. So it's just a lot going on. Because as we know, the plan was not for Sabo to come and fight the way he did. It was very clear. Dragon wasn't there. The big heavy hitters was not there. The plan was basically just to scout for something. Again, the Revolutionary Army is super, super serious. We don't know a lot about them. But the plan was not to engage in combat. But Sabo being, Sabo, sworn brother of Luffy and Ace, they always about that action. So I'm just not entirely sure if Sabo's going to be in Wano. However, I do think that Sabo and the Revolutionary Army are going to be super key to the next couple arcs. Because, honestly, the Revolutionary Army and Luffy's goal kind of align. Especially when we're talking about uncovering the truth and stuff. Now, one thing that was interesting about that theory is that they brought up how whenever CP0 is around, or so is the Revolutionary Army. Like in Dressrosa, the CP0 pulled up, and who was there? The Revolutionary Army. Talking about Wano, if Sabo and them pull up in Wano, gee, it might be the best arc, bro. We don't really know how strong CP0 is, but assumingly we can assume they're probably relatively strong, right? There's no way that we saw CP9. Now they're not nice to our standards anymore, but at the time they were pretty strong. So imagine CP0, which is the next level, and you have Lucci, I think Kaku, who are two people who elevated from CP9 to CP0. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that Sabo is invincible per se. He can obviously die. We saw Ace die. I'm not saying that he's not untouchable, but I'm saying that in the narrative of the story, he has a pretty good relevance. So, talking about, first of all, I think, in my opinion, he's the person who's going to inherit the Revolutionary Army when the show's over. You know what I'm saying? EOS. Kobe's going to be the Fleet Admiral. Luffy's going to be the Pirate King. Sabo's going to be the Revolutionary Army guy. That's just how I feel like it was going to go. Also, something that I think people note, but sometimes people go over it, that Akino's the final villain. Akino's going to get fought by someone. And there are people say there are three, but there are really only two candidates. The two candidates are Luffy, because we know Luffy was there. Luffy wants the hands, and Sabo. those are the two people that have the right or the reason to fight Akino, at least for this, like for the case of Ace, right? That would be, those are the two people. So not saying that that's why Sabo has to be alive per se, but just, you know, these are just points to why Sabo is pretty important endgame. I'm expecting to see some stuff about the Revolution Army, but specifically Sabo, before Wano's over, because there's a lot of stuff building up, and I feel like the way Oda could do it, I mean, it's obviously up to him, but I could see Oda starting to build up the stuff so it goes crazy, and then, you know, we go to where it is right now, because Sabo's dealing with the Marines, and we haven't seen the Marines in a minute. Like, obviously we know Wano's a lawless land, but gee, they're still doing stuff behind the scenes. Like, for instance, we know that the warlords are abolished, right? Still really don't know the reason why they abolished it. So again, with Sabo and, you know, specifically the Revolution Army connected to that, that would be a good way to almost seamlessly transfer over. People that want to know the most secrets about the world, we're talking about the Will of D, maybe not the Will of D, but more like the Void Century and what happens in the world government. Obviously, if you follow Luffy's trail, we'll probably get there eventually. But the people that are literally targeting those answers are the Revolution Army and Sabo. And one thing to note, bro, like Sabo did say, like, gee, if Luffy's ever in trouble, I'm gonna come and pull up and help him. And y'all read last chapter, right? Luffy in trouble for sure. Luffy was not doing good for sure. I low-key might make another like Sabo video because I feel like Sabo's a lot stronger than people give him credit for. Even Marco too. Marco might get a video as well. It really depends. I might make like maybe character versus battles, or like how strong is his character. Just let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing, because I kind of there's some like topics I want to cover. Like I'd love to do Ace versus Katakuri one. I feel like that would be kind of controversial, but I think that would be a fun one. Sabo and Luffy, that's a good one. Marco and Luffy, like there's some good, you know, Boa and Luffy or something. There are a lot of characters that are like, okay, people don't really know where to rank them, and I think sometimes they get underrated. So those are fun things. I might make a video on that, but let me know if you guys are interested in that, obviously. Let me know what you guys think down below, but I'm out, so peace.